Hello, everybody. Captain Marty here. It is Monday, July the 8th. I hope you had a great 4th of July weekend. I know I certainly did. Spent a lot of time in the garden. Been keeping an eye on the pulse of the fishing world. It all pretty much remained the same, and I'll be back to tell you exactly what did happen in just a moment.
Electricity, something I don't mix well with at all, and that's why I only trust the folks at ELS OBX. ELS OBX offers a variety of services from custom electrical installations to lighting design. ELS OBX has the experience and know-how to complete any job. They're committed to providing the highest quality lighting and electrical installations or service at affordable prices. Visit them online at elsobx.com to get a brighter idea of how shockingly awesome they are. See what I did there? ELS OBX, electrical and lighting solutions you can count on. When it comes to finding phenomenal seafood, you gotta go insane. That's right, stop into the Insane Seafood Market right there on Highway 64 in Columbia. Luke Midget and his crew work hard out on the water to make sure you have the freshest selection of seafood around. They provide a wide selection of fish, crabs, shrimp, oysters, and clams, just to name a few. Insane Seafood has a hot bar to satisfy that seafood craving right on the spot. Visit them online at insaneseafood.com and like them on social media. Go insane at Insane Seafood Market, Highway 64 in Columbia.
So through our weekend, the offshore fishing, we always talk about that first. It was okay in Hatters. I can't call it great. It looked like they scrapped out some dolphin, some blackfin tuna. I think Saturday was the better day. Friday and Saturday, more blackfin tunas. A few big wahoo in the catches. Yesterday, the release, my buddy Ron Whitaker released a blue marlin. So I know there was at least one caught down there, but that's about all I heard. It sounded like it was a little bit on the scrappy side. Closer to the beach there, catching Spanish mackerel and bluefish. There's a little bit of bottom fishing going on almost every day. That includes our friends down in Ocracoke, Stevie Wilson, and that crowd down there. They do a lot of bottom fishing. They do some sword fishing. They do all kinds of stuff. So if you get a chance and you're in Ocracoke, walk the docks. You don't have to worry about finding them. They're right there at Silver Lake, and you might get in a little bit of that bottom fishing kind of fun. The Oregon Inlet Fleet had a nice mix throughout the weekend. That included some dolphin or mahi, mostly in the Baylor size categories, the smaller 3 to 8 pounders. They had some good quality yellowfin tunas, but not big numbers. If you had a mixed catch of 4 or 5 yellowfins and 25 or 30 dolphin, that was a good day. And the yellowfins, like I said, were good size. And even though there was some shark activity, trying to dine on the yellowfin tunas before you got a chance to, it wasn't as bad as it has been. Also, there was a few big wahoos in the catches, a little bit of tile fishing because some of those guys also went bottom fishing. I have a correction to make. I want to thank Matt Derwachter for pointing out to me on Friday when I gave credit to the trophy hunter for a Grand Slam catch. That was correct, but I said the captain was Kenneth Brown, my old neighbor. I've known Kenneth since he was a little boy. It was actually his son was the captain. Kenneth doing some inshore fishing now, his son running the trophy hunter. But nonetheless, congratulations to those guys for their Grand Slam. Inshore at Oregon Inlet, there was ribbon fish, Spanish mackerel, bluefish, things like that for guys piddling around outside the inlet. And I haven't heard much of anything left of the cobia fishing. I think it's pretty much over. But our piers and our surf fishing, a big thank you to Tony Lombardi from walkingangler.com. Good place to find out where you can go fishing without a boat. North of Oregon Inlet, water temperature 68 to 76 degrees. And the combination of stuff is pretty much the same anywhere you want to go. It's small fish time of year, a lot of bottom fishing going on. So you got pier or surf, you got sea mullet, you got some spot, some croakers, some sheephead, and then on the surface, some Spanish mackerel and bluefish. So you got a little bit of that going on. Every once in a while, a pompano, and every once in a while, a puppy drum. Now, if you're fishing on the bottom, Tony says shrimp, sand fleas, and fish bites are the choice. That might be what you want to go with. You can be guided in that direction at any local tackle shop where you'll get local fishing knowledge and good prices. And support our local tackle shops if you can. If you are looking for bluefish on the surface or Spanish mackerel, you might consider sting silvers or gotcha plugs or glass minnows. I don't even know what glass minnows are. It must be some kind of a lure. But Walking Angler Tony was telling me about that, and that'd be for your surface fish. So there's a lot of things going on. A speckled trout in the sloughs around the piers. You don't hear much about that because they don't run them through the pier house. But if you are on the beach, one of the best places you can fish is right alongside the pier where the current has watered out sloughs that these speckled trout like to hang out in. Now we're going to take a little break. I'm going to take a little sip of water, and then I'm going to tell you about what's going on not in the ocean, but more or less back in the sounds and the estuaries. I'll be right back.
Red Drum Tackle in Buxton is the oldest complete tackle shop at Cape Hatteras. And being the closest tackle shop to Cape Point, Red Drum Tackle has been welcoming fishermen to Hatteras Island with a wide selection of bait and tackle, skilled custom rod builds, rod and reel repair, expert knowledge and information since 1974. Red Drum Tackle knows how, when, and where to fish. To acquire this fishing brain power, visit them online at reddrumtackle.com. Red Drum Tackle, the oldest complete tackle shop at Cape Hatteras and the closest to Cape Point in Buxton.
Okay, back in the sound. Fishing remains good for speckled trout. We have a big industry back there. People doing the speckled trout fishing, but really right now it's more about the drum. Puppy drum, yearling drum, big drum, some sight casting going on. These roving schools of drum are moving all around the sound and out to the ocean, around the inlets as well. The best way to learn how to do that is to book a guide and go out and see how the professionals do it. And I was talking to somebody at church yesterday that fishery used to be a nighttime fishery for those big drum, but these guys have really mastered fishing for them in the middle of the day now. So that's something to keep in mind. Some of it is sight casting, which is pretty darn exciting, where you stand on the bow of the boat and cast into a school of big drum. But if you can't find them and don't see them, then you switch over to the bottom rigs and the bottom bait and go for them that way. But it's pretty good. It's been good all spring and now into the summer. So we'll just keep telling you about it as we know about it. Also, some other stuff. I know that the Bonner Bridge, I've been talking about this every day. The Bonner Bridge Pier is producing some sheephead, but there's a trick to it. And from what I understand is that you need some current that makes the sheephead bite better. So pay attention to your tides in that area. If it's slack tide and you're not catching sheephead, find out when the tide will change, when there'll be some current, and come back later. But it can be very, very good, and that's a premium fish. Good to eat, fun to catch. One of the hardest fighting fish that I've ever caught or even know of. Pound for pound, I'd put it right up there with an amberjack and a false albacore as the two pound for pound now. Toughest fighting fish I know. So there's a lot going on, a lot of opportunity. And the most important thing, when it gets really hot like it is now, and you are fishing on the piers or in the surf, you really, really need to, and I'll say it almost every report, you really need to think about early morning fishing. That does not mean after breakfast. That means before breakfast, before anything. If you're here on vacation, get up, go out and wet a line, watch the sun come up. No, watch the sun break the horizon, and then come up. When you get done with that, go on back to the house, wake the kids up, feed them breakfast. Same thing is true in the evening. When you go out, take advantage of some of the early diner specials, feed the kids, and then put them on their telephones or computers and get rid of them for a while and go down to the beach and cast the line and fish till dark. So that's the time you want to do it. And I'm kidding about the kids. You really should take them with you. One good tip that Tony from WalkingAngler.com did share with me, when it gets to be around dark at the Bonner Bridge, that spot we were just talking about, mosquitoes are pretty bad right now. So be sure you take some mosquito repellent with you. Try to avoid that as much as possible. Avoid those bites. And that's my fishing report for us as we wrap the weekend up. Thank you for stopping by, and have a great day.